Roger, this year it's a little bit more of a subdued open for you. You know, the number one seed, the defending champion this year. Do you prefer it that way? The spotlight's a little bit off of you?
Well, I always feel the spotlight's on me, regardless of my ranking is and how I'm playing. Still got to attend press conferences and all of that stuff, so nothing changes from that side. The buzz for me is hard to read because I get recognized more than ever, and crowds are fantastic, you know, regardless of what my ranking is. So that's about it.
How do you feel compared to A-Rod, who I think you met after the match, as far as being recognized in New York?
I met him for 3 minutes, so I didn't ask him if he can still walk the streets. That's like a journalist question, you know. I'm no journalist, so it's just nice to meet another great athlete, and I've never been to a baseball game, so that's something on the to-do list for me, and surprisingly enough, he invited me, you know, so but my schedule's busy, so we'll see if I can make it or not.
What are your thoughts about facing Robin, and how important is the surface, do you think, to the matchup with him?
Well, I think obviously toughest conditions for both players are playing on a wet clay when it rains. So that's what we had in the last match. No excuses there, but it's just tough conditions to play in. We usually played each other on faster courts because we usually played the same tournaments, which are more on the hard courts or on the grass courts. This is where we faced off quite often against each other. So I don't think there's any really hidden secrets for both of us. He's been able to string together, you know, a few good years now on the tour. Before he was very good already, but he was a bit up and down, and maybe that's also why his ranking was a bit lower. But look, he's playing really well. We played each other last year, I think, here in the quarters, if I'm not mistaken, was the round, and started off well. Got off a great 2-sets-to-love lead, and then he came back, and we had 2 breakers after that. So I expect it to be really tough, especially now that he's gotten a taste of how to beat me. It's up to me to, you know, clean up my game and put in a good performance.
What is most challenging for you about his game?
Well, like against any big server, trying to, you know, read the serve, get into good baseline rallies, and make him try to move him around, and, you know, just play a solid match and have no hiccups on your own serve. Been able to do that 12 times out of 13, so it's a matter up to me now if I can do it again.
Next question. Roger, Mats Wilander said this summer that the greatest development in the men's game in the last 2 years is Robin Soderling's head. I'm wondering if you know what he's talking about. Is it, you know, just his approach to the game? Do you understand what he's saying?
He knows Robin much better than I do, obviously, him being a Swede, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's more calm on the court now. Maybe he doesn't see all the other opponents as enemies, you know. Maybe realize that the tour is not that bad as it maybe once was, you know. I don't think he was enjoying it as much, you know, a few years ago. And who knows, maybe his girlfriend also calming down the whole deal, you know. So little things can have a huge impact, and just growing up too, you know. It took me a long time to figure out that staying calm was going to be better for my game than not, and I only realized that only about at 20 years old. So it took a long time coming sometimes.
Roger, you were on the official card this year. How did it feel to see yourself on the move?
I can't sleep at night. It's so amazing, the feeling. No, it's nice, you know, but I'm not riding in those, so look, I think it's great that how do you say, they obviously picked me to be on the car. I think it's great for tennis that, you know, cars like this drive around New York City, and that people you know, see that tennis is in town. And other than that, the feeling remains pretty relaxed to me, anyway. Yeah.
Roger, you obviously didn't coast against Jurgen tonight. What sorts of problems did you have to solve throughout the match to...
The beginning, what did you say?
You didn't cruise to victory against
Yeah.
Jurgen. It was a close match here and there, a few points. What
Yeah,
sorts of
I mean, he's a great
problems
shot maker, and he was always going to hit some good stuff, some dangerous shots. He was able to come up with some good returns at times, and that obviously got me on the back foot. There's not many guys out there who really can crunch the return off a first serve like he can, and so he's always going to get the occasional dangerous return into play, and it's up to me to make little adjustments with my footwork and make sure I stay ahead in the score of my own serve. But it was hard today. Jurgen's a good player. I know him since a long time. He's got great potential, and for him also it's important to be able to do that consistently, week in, week out, which is not an easy thing to do, but he seems like he's getting the hang of it. And from my side, I still thought conditions were tough out there tonight. There was still wind, which made it hard to serve well. He usually also serves better than that, but he was also trying to have a high percent in first serve plays, making them, so it was just kind of hard to play. I don't think it was our best match, obviously. I mean, we only played twice, but I just think we both can play a bit better. So I just think we really tried to play the moment and play in a way maybe the opponent doesn't like it, and that meant for him taking huge chances and for me trying to be as solid as possible.